Let's introduce now our next guest, Angela Levin, royal biographer extraordinaire. Welcome to the show, Angela.
Hello.
Where do we begin with Mr. Mountbatten Windsor? I mean, first of all, I had heard that there's been all sorts of accoutrements and equipment reported by people who were cleaning up after one of his shooting parties at Sandringham. Tell us more about that.
I just think that he's a revolting man, and I just think that it's appalling. Everything about him actually makes me shiver. And I think that he's the most appalling man to have all the amazing things he's had as being part of the royal family, and yet to behave in the most disgusting way that makes you feel sick.
What about this idea that he might take up the offer of a palace over in the UAE, 16,000 square foot? The Emirates billionaire ruler of Abu Dhabi has said, look, he can come and live his life out here instead. I mean, talk about landing on your feet. My question would be this. Would that not expose the country and the royal family to potential bribery and coercion? You're sending good old Handy Andy over to hang out with influencers and oligarchs on the yachts of Abu Dhabi. What could go wrong?
It's terrible. I mean, he's got some proper people who cook for him because he's never cooked for himself, and it's heavily guarded, and they don't really care very much about women. So if he does go there, he'll be very badly behaved, I'm quite sure.
I mean, it'd be a risk. In my mind, this is going to be a risk to national security, because if anything was taking place inside those palace walls, and given his reputation, the minute he's got a sniff of the high life again with a load of sort of, you know, pouty, surgically enhanced beauties who are all out there to try and nab a rich man, and all of the sort of Russian oligarchs bobbing around on their boats, all the sort of strange shifting of dark money that goes on in the UAE, why would you put the ex-prince somewhere like that? Because surely it'd be very easy then for people to take photographs, videos, to get compromat on him, essentially, to yet again shame the royal family and put us as a nation in a very precarious position.
Well, very much so. But also Chinese, they would do the same. It'd be all just dreadful. But I think he would do that because he doesn't want to. I mean, he's got this peculiar way of saying, I'm doing everything to help and be help, you know, I'm so good, I'm so responsible, but he's actually vile. And if he does go, I wonder if he'd start really attacking the royal family and being able to do the most appalling arrangements. And he'd be very rich. Now, there's King Charles, who's going to give him a home and give him money so that he can actually eat and have a decent life. But actually, in reality, if he gets the money from the king, and there's money from him moving from his mansion, he'll be extremely rich. And if he goes down there, he'll have money galore. And I think he can't be allowed to go, but I don't know how you stop him.
Well, there must be a way to stop him, surely. I mean, I just think it would be utterly unconscionable if he suddenly winds up in a palace in the UAE. I think it would be a great danger to the country. But the man is showing absolutely no contrition. Not only are we now faced with the prospect of him essentially being bankrolled to the tune of millions, despite being a ne'er-do-well and having shown absolutely no remorse for his activity. We learn as well that over the course of time, when the palace were putting out various statements that were then sent to him for approval, he was removing references to things like the victims of Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes in statements. We learned that the Queen expressed concerns that her son's association with Epstein compromised her work with abuse victims, the same of the Duchess of Edinburgh. I mean, this cretin, for want of a better word, has cast a very long shadow over our monarchy.
Yes. I mean, but actually, I think it's very good for both the Queen and the Duchess of Edinburgh, because they know how women have suffered, and that's what they spend a lot of time doing. Now, they will, I'm sure, get help to get rid of his ways of behaving with women, and that they will look up who have been very badly treated and then help them. I mean, there have been people with no money and actually ruined by this man. And I think that they need to actually help them. And that's why they're saying this, because they can't do that if, well, for Camilla, her husband's brother is behaving so badly. You can't do any of the things that you need to do to look after women and men even who've been attacked, and do it that way. I think it's too scary to even think about, but I'm sure now that King Charles is so furious and so strong about it all. He's stopped being kind.
I mean, look, I'm glad he's taken decisive action. I don't think this is the end of the story, however. Angela Levin, thank you ever so much for joining us.